Between Peter Parker's battle with villains and his love life, I'm not sure which one is messier. He swings through messy relationships just as easily as he does walls. Today, we'll swing through his list of love interests to find out which ones stole our hearts and which ones deserve all our hate. Let's get into it. Number 1. Mary Jane Watson. Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. That one line is the single greatest mic drop in Spider-Man romance history. Mary Jane didn't just walk into Peter Parker's life, she exploded onto the scene. With her fiery red hair, confident attitude, and sharp wit, MJ instantly became unforgettable. It's pretty to see why fans love her so much. MJ isn't just there to look pretty or be the girlfriend. She's got her own vibe, is confident, stubborn in a fun way, and strong enough to deal with all the chaos that comes with dating Spider-Man. She's basically Peter's equal, not someone tagging along in his shadow. Over the years, MJ has proven she's more than just the love interest. Villains might destroy half the city, but MJ is the one making sure Peter doesn't fall apart with it. She's not perfect, but that's why people connect with her. From Kirsten Dunst's version in the Raimi movies to Zendaya's more modern take in the MCU, MJ just works no matter the era. Fans love her because she feels real, and honestly, she's the one love story that makes Spider-Man feel complete. And frankly, Peter and MJ together are like re-watching your favorite comfort show. You already know how it'll go, but it hits every time. Number 2. Gwen Stacy. Before Mary Jane claimed the spotlight, there was Gwen. Gwen Stacy wasn't flashy and she didn't need to be. She was intelligent, kind, graceful, and utterly perfect for Peter. In many ways, she represented the what could have been that fans still ache over. Her story, of course, isn't remembered just for the romance. It's remembered for how it ended. The night Gwen Stacy died remains one of the most gut-wrenching storylines in comic history. It changed Peter forever, and it changed superhero comics forever. Fans cherish Gwen not just because of who she was, but because of what her loss represented. She was Peter's innocence, the symbol of a world before tragedy struck. Her death marked a shift toward darker, more serious storytelling in comics. Yet, her legacy didn't end there. Alternate universe Gwen, better known as Spider-Gwen, turned tragedy into triumph. With her spunky, rebellious energy, Spider-Gwen gave fans a new lens, a version of Gwen who lived, fought, and thrived on her own terms. That's the beauty of Gwen Stacy. Even in loss, her story lives on. Even in alternate realities, fans never stop rooting for her. She's timeless, and her shadow still lingers in every MJ storyline that follows. Number 3. Betty Brant. Before Gwen and MJ came in and totally owned Peter's love life, there was Betty Brant, and many fans believe she doesn't get enough credit. She wasn't glamorous, she wasn't a superhero, and the writers definitely didn't set her up to be iconic, but she was Peter's first real girlfriend, and that matters. Betty worked as J. Jonah Jameson's secretary at the Daily Bugle, which already made her feel more grounded than most of Peter's later love interests. She wasn't swinging around the city or dropping "face it, Tiger" lines. In short, she was awkward, caring, and just normal. And that's actually kind of refreshing. Not every romance has to be fireworks and destiny. Sometimes it's just two young people trying to figure it out. Their relationship didn't come with epic battles or villains crashing in every 5 seconds. It came with regular problems, too many responsibilities in fact, missed moments, and that whole "I like you but life keeps getting in the way" vibe. And if you ask me, that's peak Spider-Man energy. Sure, Betty doesn't have the same legendary status as MJ or Gwen, but fans who appreciate quieter, more subtle romances still hold her close. She proves that even superheroes start with something ordinary, and sometimes ordinary hits just right. Number 4. Cindy Moon, Silk. Cindy Moon, better known as Silk, is one of the most interesting love interests Peter Parker has ever had. She is not the usual girl next door who happens to fall for a superhero. She has her own powers, her own story, and her own struggles, which instantly make her stand out. Because Cindy was bitten by the same radioactive spider that gave Peter his powers, their bond feels completely different from anything he has had before. She does not just try to understand the stress of living a double life, she actually lives it herself. That shared experience creates a connection that feels stronger, messier, and far more electric than Peter's usual romances. What we like most about Cindy is that she is not there to be rescued. She can hold her own in a fight, she is independent, and she is resilient enough to match Peter both physically and emotionally. Their chemistry is unpredictable at times, but it makes every moment between them exciting. Now, how about those love interests we wish Peter never had? Starting off with Number 1. Liz Allen. Liz Allen has been around since Peter's high school days, but as far as love interests go, she never really made it work. She was more of a background crush than someone who felt important to his story. Most of the time, she came across as shallow and too wrapped up in her own popularity to really connect with Peter on a deeper level. For a lot of fans, Liz feels like that one high school crush everyone had but outgrew quickly. She looked good on the page for a moment, but once the bigger and better love stories arrived, Liz faded into the background fast. The romance never had real weight, and it always seemed more like a stepping stone to get to the relationships that actually mattered. To be fair, she has had a few better arcs in alternate universes where writers gave her more depth, but in the main Spider-Man story, she is remembered more for being forgettable than anything else. If Mary Jane is the prize and Gwen is the tragic love that shaped Peter, Liz is the placeholder that no one was asking for in the first place. Number 2. Carly Cooper. Carly Cooper was supposed to be the girlfriend who finally made sense for Peter. She was smart, worked as a forensic scientist, and came with this whole strong, independent vibe that looked good on paper. The thing is, reading her storylines never really clicked. It always felt like the writers wanted her to be the perfect match so badly that they forgot to make the relationship feel real. The chemistry just wasn't there. Instead of feeling like someone Peter could actually open up to, she often felt like she was trying to solve him like a puzzle. Every time she got close to discovering his secret identity, it felt more like she was playing detective than being a partner, which made the whole romance come off kinda cold. Now, it's not that fans hated her, but they never cared about her either. When you think about Spider-Man's love interests, she's just not someone you'd put high on the list. She doesn't bring the energy of MJ, the tragedy of Gwen, or the unique spark of Cindy Moon. For many, Carly was more of a nice try than a love story worth remembering. Number 3. Betty Brant. Yes, Betty made the loved list earlier, but she also deserves a spot here. Betty Brant is one of those characters who can swing from great to frustrating depending on how she's written. At her best, she feels like the most relatable love interest Peter ever had. She was his first real girlfriend, and the way their relationship dealt with normal problems instead of just superhero drama made her stand out. But then there are times when Betty's character is handled poorly, and that's when she loses a lot of love from fans. Instead of being steady and thoughtful, she sometimes gets portrayed as overly emotional, fragile, or constantly stuck in messy drama. That inconsistency makes it hard for people to stay invested in her. When she's written well, she shows why she deserves a place in Peter's story. When she's not, she feels more like filler than a true part of his legendary love life. Number 4. Gwen Stacy. Just like Betty, Gwen Stacy is usually one of the most loved characters in Spider-Man's history, but not every version of her has been easy to enjoy. In the classic comics, She felt like the perfect mix of kind, graceful, and steady, and that's what made her loss hit so hard. But in some modern adaptations, especially alternate universe spins, she doesn't always come across the same way. Instead of the caring partner who made Peter stronger, she sometimes feels cocky or too detached, and that changes everything. When Gwen's chemistry with Peter feels off, it's hard to connect with her the way fans used to. The frustration comes from knowing how good she can be, and then seeing versions where that magic is missing. Gwen works best when she feels genuine and warm. You bet that Peter Parker's tangled web of love stories will keep fans talking for a very long time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.